Okay, we're going to do a couple of quick tutorials here in Photoshop, all centering around applying color to image in the sense of creating monochromatic or duotone images that have a particular color cast applied to them. You'd use this in the context of working within a corporate color palette, for example, where you want the imagery to be used to also reflect that color palette. So we're going to look at a number of different techniques. I'm going to probably have to spread that out over a couple of videos because of the YouTube video length limit. So the first one's going to be, we're just going to build our way up from simple to more complex. So the first one, we're just going to look at taking a regular image and desaturating it and applying color using the Hue Saturation dialog box. So if you look at our adjustment, we've got an image here, background image, and we're going to go and open up the Adjustment Layers palette, Window Adjustments, and we're going to look for the Hue Saturation adjustment, and that's what this one right here, so click on that. In Photoshop CS6 we now have to have the Properties palette open as well in order to be able to see that. So with this dialog box you can desaturate the image as one way of taking color out of an image. You can sort of leave a little bit of color in if you want, just remove the saturation. That'll only work, of course, if the original color cast in the image, you can see this is pretty orangey, happens to match the corporate colors that you're looking for. That's probably not going to be the case. So that's where the Colorized mode comes in. That's down here. And if we just click on that, that's going to then take whatever value we've got set in the hue and allow us to apply that with whatever saturation we have set down in this slider. If you go too intense, of course, you're going to get a very, very, very intense feel. Probably not what you want, unless you're going for that Andy Warhol look. Tend to want to keep your saturation under 50%, usually in and around 20-25% is going to do the trick. And then you dial in the hue value that you want that corresponds to the color that the client, or that's in the color palette of the client. So one of the questions, of course, at this point is, well, how do I know what that hue number should be? Because I've probably been given a Pantone color or maybe an RGB color. So we're going to use Photoshop's color picker to do that very simply. Down here we can click on here to set the foreground color just temporarily, and we're going to use built-in color libraries because the client may have specified something in a particular Pantone. So with this color library open, let's say the client's given us a Pantone of 307. We just have to type that in, 307 on our keyboard, and that's going to jump right to that particular color. Or you can browse through this if you want. Instead of pressing OK, though, what we're going to do is we're just going to hit the picker again, and now this is going to give us Photoshop's approximation of that Pantone color in HSB, RGB, and CMYK. One word to the wise, these approximations are created based on your current color profile settings, which are handled in your color menu. So make sure that you understand that if that's of importance to you. If you know already the printing process that you're going to be using, the inks that you're going to be using, and so on, then you want to make sure that you do that, you set those up before coming in converting the colors, just to get that much more accuracy. At any rate, now that we've gone into the color library and we've switched back, we can see that the hue for this particular color is 202 and brightness is around 65. So I'm going to sort of stock that in my memory banks, 202. I can even just cancel out of here, and then I'll just dial in 202 there. And that's going to give me the correct hue, so that's automatically going to be harmonious with the color scheme of my image.